Hello students, myself Dr. Shaikya Pratima, Ahmednagar Jilla Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samajas, New Arts, Commerce and Science College, Ahmednagar. Supply analysis is the fourth chapter as per your 12th standard economic subject syllabus. Today we have discussed the just introductory part like a supply. We know the producer has produced the different goods and services. He earns the profit. The producer's mind is profit-oriented mind. Those goods and services are offered for sale in the market. And the market forces like the demand and supply determine the price of those goods and services. So the demand and supply are interrelated aspect of market. The term supply indicates the relationship between the price and quantity supply. So it is important to the supply. We know it's an interrelated concept. Basically, the supply is a fundamental economic concept. Supply describes the total amount of a specific good or services that is available to a seller. So let's we discuss the next point, the concept of the total output, then stock and supply. See, these are the three concepts which is explain the real situation of the market, real situation of the production, and also the real situation of those commodities supply. So there are three concepts. The first is the total output, second is the stock, and the third one, most important, is like a supply. So let's come to the first point, the output, concept of output. So the output is the outcome of the process of production. Before we study the output, we just study the production because the after the production, we have discussed the output. The production implies the creation of the addition of utility. So you know the utility means what? Utility means the commodity which is satisfy the human want. Okay. So the production implies the creation of addition of utility. Production consists of various processes through utility is created the production. So result in output of goods. See, the output is produced through the process of production. When inputs like the land, labor, capital and organization. See, now input means what? The factors of production. See, there are four factors of production, the land, labor, capital, and also the organizer or the entrepreneur. They undergoes the production process. They emerge in the force of the form of output of goods. So the total output can be defined as the most important definition of output is the sum total of the quantity of the commodity produced at a given period of time in the economy, that is called as the output. See now, this definition will explain the during a given period of time with the help of inputs, means without input we never the create any production, produce any production, and never the provide the output. Okay, so that is called as the output. So basically the after production means the total production, that is called as the output. So the production leads to a consumption, and you know the consumption means what? The consumer will consume the different goods and services. So it's depend to that production side. So that's why the production leads to the consumption. The consumer will consume, otherwise they buy the different goods and also the services, and then they have satisfy our basic want. So these are the interrelated concept, means like that concept will also the consider the time, then price, and also the most important, it is a place. So let's come to the next concept. It is like a stock. This stock is the second concept, means the next concept, otherwise the next procedure of the total output. See now, the stock is the total quantity of commodity available with the producer for sale at a point of time. See, the stock is output of production. If production increases, stock will increase. So generally, the stock is more than supply. So what is the definition of that stock? See your screen. I will share that definition of the stock. Stock is the total quantity of commodity available for sale with the seller at a particular point of time. So every definition will explain the particular time, means they have always considered the time. See, the stock, generally stock is more than supply. But in case of certain goods like the vegetables, means the perishable goods. The certain goods like vegetables, fruits, then flowers, which are the perishable. And stock can be equal to supply. Why? Because we know the perishable good we never store in the extra time. That good we already the say available easily for sale. So that's why the stock and the supply both are same at a perishable good, like a perishable good. But in case of durable goods, so what is the difference between the perishable goods and durable goods? See, the perishable goods, we never create the stock for like the perishable goods. But in the durable goods, we have stored the extra time. But in case of durable goods, stock can be greater than supply. It exceeds for supply, but it can never be less than supply. So that is called as the stock. See now, I repeat that the definition of the stock. Stock is the total quantity of commodity available for sale. See now, output means for the total production. Then second is that production, if we have to store, so that is called as the stock. So that's why the definition of stock is the total quantity of commodity available for sale with a seller at a particular point of time. Then the last and the next concept is like a supply. See, the next concept is the supply. It is the most important concept. It's like you are the chapter number 4, the supply analysis. It's most important. In last few videos, otherwise last few lectures, we have already studied the concept of demand. So if the demand is important, automatically the supply is also important, because both are determine the price of that commodity. In the last few videos, we already studied that point. So supply is a relative concept. It is always expressed in relation to the price, time and quantity. See now, every definition will explain the price, time and quantity. The word supply implies the various quantities of a commodity offered for sale by producers during a given period of time at a given price. It is related to time and price. Means what? The supply is related to the time and price. Supply is what? You know, what is the meaning of the supply? The seller is able to offer for sale. The ability of the seller to offer for sale depends on the stock of commodity that the producer has, and willingness to sell depends on the price of a commodity. See now, the word supply implies the various quantity of a commodity offered for sale by producers during a given period of time at a given price. So that is called as supply. So basically, the supplies depend on the stock and price. Supply is a flow concept. So the supply cannot exceed the stock. The first is the stock and second concept is like a supply. That's why the supply is a flow concept. So we also discussed the distinguish between the stock and supply. First, we know the distinguish in your board exam maximum time. The board will ask that question. Board have asked that question. They distinguish between the stock and supply. First and most important, you have to explain the definition of the supply and stock, and then the some points, other points. So supply, then we know this stock is depends upon the production, while supply depends on the stock, and also second point is the price. So the stock is static concept. Supply is a flow concept. So the stock exceeds supply for perishable goods. The stock and supply can be same. See, the stock exceeds supply for, but the perishable goods, the stock and supply can be same. So the supply cannot exceed the stock. So that is the distinguish between the stock and supply. So every time you have to remember that part. The question is distinguished between the stock and supply. Then let's come to the next point, the definition of supply. It's the most important. Particular the definition, each and every topic's definition is most important, and you always remember that, like the demand, then utility, then the also the supply. Okay, so let's come to the next point, the definition of supply according to the Paul Samuelson. Paul Samuelson is a great economist, a renowned economist. So he has explained the one more most important definition of the supply. The supply refers to the relation between market prices and amount of a goods that producers are willing to supply. Means the producer's willingness, it is most important. So the supply refers to the quantity of a commodity that seller is willing and able to offer for sale at a given price during a given period of time. Like we just discussed, the one most important example is the farmer. If the farmer produces the 2000 kilograms of rice, you know the rice, okay? Rice means RIC, not a REC. See, this is the total stock, okay? So the at rupees 30 rupees per kg, if he offers the 800 kilogram rice for sale at a given period of time, so that time the 800 kilogram rice is his actual supply. So that is called as the definition of supply. See now that example is most important. This example is related to the agricultural sector, like the particular the farmer. See, this example is the best example. If the farmers produce the 2000 kilogram rice, this is his total stock. See now, he has to produce the 2000 kilogram rice, and this rice is his total stock. And at a 30 rupees per kilogram, if he offers 800 kilograms, means he is offered the sale that rice is 800 kilogram. So the rice for sale at a given period of time, that 800 kilogram rice is his actual supply. Means 800 kilogram rice, these farmers will provide for the sale, offered for the sale. So that is called as the supply. So see, in this video, we just introduced the concept of the output, stock and supply, and also discuss the definition of the supply. Okay. So goodbye everybody. Stay home. Stay safe. Bye everybody.